Terracross, you're gonna see some toe-to-toe racing, some bumping, some flipping, some people getting roosted, all types of stuff, man. We're out here in Glamis, everybody's super hyped, so check it out.
We come out here, we get to bang doors with each other and have a good time.
You gotta stick your line, pin it, win it, and keep it on all fours.
You have guys from motocross, you have guys from snowmobile, you have, you know, obviously me, a cage fighter, you know, and then you have guys that race professionally all the time. So, you know, it's kind of, you mix everybody together and, you know, this is what you got, Terracross.
Welcome to Glamis, California, one of America's most iconic destinations for off-road motorsports. For years, these mystical sand dunes have attracted off-road professionals and enthusiasts from all over the world. This weekend, Glamis plays host to Polaris's Camp Razer and the final two races of the 2015 Terracross Championships. Our buddy Kevin Barnett alongside my good friend Jim Beaver, a former Terracross racer. Even this season, Jim, we've seen some awesome on-track action this year.
That's right. We've had some epic racing action in 2015 so far in both the men's and the women's divisions.
For the women's division, Sarah Price has been the story, dominating the field. 4 consecutive wins. She has won every race of 2015, and with 2 to go, she's on the verge of making Terracross history. As we look at the point standings here, Price in control, but Shelby Anderson has a shot.
I got to tell you, Shelby has been lightning quick this year, learning Terracross really fast.
On the men's side, R.J. Anderson is hoping to challenge current title holder and points leader Jason Luberg. Luberg used consistency all of last year to take home the win overall, but never took home a single race win. This year he's used the same strategy, but you know he'd love to pick up a race victory. The art of consistency on display. Luberg with that 4-point lead over R.J. Anderson.
Never count on Mickey Thomas there in third either. The young gun taking a win earlier this year, lightning quick.
Those 3 racers already through to our men's final. 3 spots remain in the final, and they will be qualified through the men's LCQ on track now. Let's get to our Keystone Keys to the track with Laurette Nickel, 3rd member of our team.
Well, guys, this is Glamis, dry, dusty, and silty, which means that this course is unstable. Ruts are going to start forming real quick on the inside line, and drivers are going to eventually have to go from the inside to the outside because the ruts are going to be getting so deep, it's going to be slowing the machines down, not because the machines are getting stuck, but because the bottom of the Razer is dragging in the sand.
Thanks, Laurette. Here we are, the LCQ. Josh Cobb out of Phoenix, Arizona. Ready to face off with this track in the changing conditions. Daryl Rath, also out of Minnesota. This is our front row. And on the inside, Dana Creech, one of the course builders. He has performed well this season.
Yeah, Dana is on point normally in a Razer. Definitely going to be one of the guys to beat in this LCQ.
Our optimist start list for the LCQ as things are about to get underway. 3 spots remain in that main event. And we're off and racing, but Dana Creech is not.
Yeah, looks like missed putting it in gear, stalled it, I don't know, but causing a bottleneck right there off the start.
Man, probably not a good idea to brake check your opponents right at the beginning of the race. Walker Evans whoops section, and they are hucking it first lap. Oh, look at that!
Josh Cobb just hucking it a little bit too far up and over in that PRP Polaris Razer.
Josh Cobb looking like a Cadillac buried in the desert. Getting a good view of the sky. Meantime, the racing continues. See if our track workers can get Cobb back in this one.
Looks like Ronnie Feist and Dana Creech through that corner. Look for that corner to get rutted up as the event goes on.
How about Dana Creech? Not in gear to start the race, already in 4th place.
Yeah, Dana, he is lightning quick, and if anybody can find the right lines and make up time, it's definitely him, as he's one of the course builders.
So there is Creech in the 52, followed by Mittag in the 31B. Always like to see the letters attached to the numbers.
As they come through this Fox Proving Grounds, there's a couple of lines there, and you'll see that split lane, the dust. It's going to definitely factor into the driver's vision.
Laurette mentioned the fact that this track will change and morph over time. This seems to be the toughest, most challenging course past Heydays. Heydays had some of these same features, but not the same depth, it seems.
Well, and it seems like not only race to race, but lap to lap, we're seeing a changing course just here in the LCQ through a few laps. And I think over the course of the event and the mains later on, we're definitely going to see lane choice and who's the smartest driver is going to come out on front.
If you're a fan of motocross, maybe this is Southwick for Terracross this year. Up the inside, there's Creech. Creech looking good for a transfer spot right now as we go GoPro on board with Doug Mittag.
Doug Mittag, he's been dominant in the Torque series. Just a lightning quick desert and short course racer. We'll see how that transfers over to Terracross.
Things underway, an exciting start. Josh Cobb putting on a show. Unfortunately, not going to get him into the main event. Get a look at the sky.
Mystic Terracross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Mystic Lubricants, specially formulated for lubrication domination. By Polaris Razer. And by Musco Lighting, delivering light precisely where you need it. Musco, the experts in lighting.
Welcome back to the 2015 Camp Razer Terracross Championships here in Glamis, California. This is the men's LCQ. 3 spots up for grabs in our men's main event.
Yeah, magic number is 3, and I got to tell you, nobody likes to find themselves in the LCQ, but you know, these guys battling through and trying to grab one of those 3 spots.
Ronnie Feist looks like he's out of this one for the moment. Yellow flag waving. Up front, Dana Creech hucking it. This is a guy who won the last race. Here he is in the LCQ.
Yeah, won the last race in the LCQ, stalls it in the LCQ, and he's still running up front.
Yeah, Creech now in first as we're on board once again with Doug Mittag. Remember, these are machines you can go out and buy. Factory Polaris Razer 1000s. Go out and purchase one, and you too can take it out to the desert and rip it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing the capability of these stock Razer 1000s. Add a few safety features, and hey, we're out here racing Terracross.
Fox Proving Grounds again. Boy, getting up over the top there. That was Mittag.
Yeah, you know, there's a couple of lines there, and you know, I don't know if we've determined which one is the fastest quite yet, but it's definitely going to change throughout the race.
Split lanes, one of the regular features this year in the 2015 Terracross Championship. This looks like the biggest course that we've seen. Does this benefit any one discipline of driving, do you think?
You know, wide open, I would say it may cater to some of the guys with a desert racing background, but you're right. You know, we go to Heydays and San Diego, and they were really compact into some small arenas, and here these Razors able to stretch their legs out.
Oh, up the inside, here comes Mitch Guthrie Jr. making a move. He'll make a move on Raff.
Oh, and it looks like Josh Koscheck, high-centered, digging that Razor into those sand hills.
Koscheck, there's no points for depth here. You can't just go down and destroy the obstacles.
Looks like he may have gave up there in the background, but look at Mitch Guthrie, battle going on there for that position.
So Mitch Guthrie Jr., he switches lines right there. This is a kid who has a massive amount of time in a UTV.
Oh, you know, he's won just about everything there is to win. I know he's won King of the Hammers, a ton of works races, and you know, he's taken some victories here in Terracross as well.
Ronnie Feist still stuck there. There's a good look at Guthrie Jr. Began racing at the age of 11.
Look at these jumps. I mean, look at the air time these guys are you know, carrying in the air. It looks like Mitch Guthrie coming into this big step down, 75-foot step down. Huge jump for these Polaris Razors.
Left-hand turn, Mystic Mangler upcoming here shortly. You can see the tires sticking out of the sand there. The Mangler caused all sorts of problems throughout this season. Guthrie Jr. smooth through there. Boy, look at the ruts that have developed on these jumps. What do you have to do driving-wise, changing your approach as the track degrades?
You know, it's definitely keeping your eyes open as a driver as multiple lines form on this course is finding which one's the quickest, and sometimes in the middle of a line, you've got to switch over to the other line because it's all of a sudden become quicker.
I noticed Doug Mittag here, no gloves. A couple other drivers with no gloves. When you're racing, what do you prefer, gloves or bare hands?
I've always liked gloves myself, but a lot of drivers feel like bare hands gives you a better grip on the wheel. I've always felt like my hands get sweaty and it gets a little slick.
GoPro's Dana Creech going bare hands and straight to the lead as he is in a transfer spot. White flag waving, 3 spots up for grabs. Looks like 3 guys pretty well secure here. Mitch Guthrie Jr. in the 23. Looks like he's in that final transfer spot. Not too far back, though. You can look behind him. Coming into the screen, Darrell Rath still with an opportunity if Guthrie Jr. makes a mistake.
Yeah, you know, and you got to give credit to Doug Mittag. First time out here racing Terracross in a transfer spot to the main event. It's pretty exciting for him.
Bouncing through the Walker Evans whoops. Boy, guys still really giving it all they have off that jump that early on. Bit a couple of our racers. Last couple of turns here coming towards the finish. Dana Creech did not have it in gear to start. He put it in gear as he gives a little look over the right shoulder and went straight to the front. Checkered flag for number 52.
Man, I would have never saw that coming after the start Dana had, but a veteran of this series and definitely one of the guys always to be beat, finding his way to the main event.
3 guys in. Dana Creech, Doug Mittag, and Mitch Guthrie Jr., who's pumped on getting himself to the main event. Let's look at our race recap. First lap with some craziness for Josh Cobb.
I got to tell you, nobody wants to find themselves on their lid in the first lap, literally after the first corner of the race, but he'll definitely be back, I'm sure.
The Walker Evans whoops proved to be a challenge throughout, as there was Dana Creech having to move to the front after a tough start, but he made quick work of the field.
Yeah, Dana just threading the needle a lot and picking his way through traffic. A lot of guys finding themselves out on the side, and Dana capitalizing on it.
Race 1 for Mittag, he'd make some good moves, and this one inside of Rath was the clincher for Mitch Guthrie Jr.
Yeah, you know, Mitch Guthrie, just a veteran at such a young age, you know, finds a way.
These 3 drivers, names in red, means they're in the main event. A little racing left to do. And let's go down sideline now to catch up with Lorette Nickel and our winner, Dana Creech.
Well, Dana, the wind is definitely starting to pick up, and gremlins in the machine to get you into the LCQ. And then you had a lot of work to do out there. Take us through your race.
Man, we started on the line. I had front row start, and we sat there for a while, so I ended up putting it in neutral to rev it up and cool my belt so it didn't overheat. And I forgot to put it in gear. It was brain fart on my behalf. I messed up Dougie's start too, but we worked our way through. We had to pass the whole pack. They were already halfway through the first turn before we took off because I'd let it idle all the way down before you shift. You know, they won't shift in gear while you're up at higher RPM. So took my GoPro car all the way to the front, and it worked out. And Dougie made it too, so I don't feel bad now.
All right, and you're gonna do that in the main. How are you gonna put it all together?
Wow, it's a huge package today. I mean, I got to start in the back row of 16 guys on this course, so we'll see how the course works. Really, I mean, we built it to pass, and if I get up front, that means it was a good passing course, I'd say. So hopefully I can make it. That's my plan. I want to get up there.
Fingers crossed. Best of luck, Dana.
Thank you, Lorette.
Creech and Mittag a train to the front and right into our men's final.
Yeah, talk about a great LCQ, and man, who would have thought Dana Creech, after the start he had, making it to the main.
Our Polaris Razer Power performance has to be Dana Creech coming from the back. He's going to have to do it again in the main event as he starts on the back row there.
Yeah, we've seen him do it in the LCQ, but main event, it's a whole different story with 15 Polaris Razers out on course.
Definitely a challenge in the main event. A lot of young talent. One of those is Mickey Thomas in the 44. 2 podiums and 1 win on the year.
Well, I'm sitting 3rd in points, and Jason and RJ are in front of me, so the only way I'm going to win the championship is being aggressive and going for the win, so I'm going win or wad here this next event. Everybody's going all out this round because, you know, it's the last round of the year, and I think everybody wants to go out with a bang.
On board with Mickey Thomas, who is up front. Number 44, the young man has driven admirably.
On top of being a professional racer, I'm also a full-time college student, so it's pretty hard balancing out those 2 things. You know, a lot of times I've got to sacrifice one for the other, and it makes it difficult, you know, to come out here and race when I'm, you know, at school all week. My whole life I played football and baseball, you know, and I played varsity football and baseball since I was a freshman in high school. You know, I had some offers for college football, just picked racing over football just for my love of racing.
Thomas is driving extremely well, under pressure, under duress. The kid is making it happen.
There's no greater thrill of racing, and you know, my passion for that exceeded my passion for football, so that's why I'm here. So I'm going checkers or wreckers, you know, I'm going balls out the whole race. It's all I got, last race of the season, so, you know, going all out.
Winner wad, checkers or wreckers. Gotta love it from Mickey Thomas, the young man. Up next, we have the women. Sarah Price has been ultimately dominant. Can she continue her streak, or Katie Vernola put her black hat on and punt her way to the front? Some of the gorgeous sights here at the Imperial Sand Dunes, affectionately known as Glamis, the largest mass of sand dunes in California. It's the remnants of Lake Cohilla, they think, blown down here over 40 miles, averaging about 5 miles wide. One of the few places in California you can run what you brung, Jim Beaver.
Yeah, run what you brung, and I got to tell you, this place turns into a city on the weekends. You can see everything from stock Polaris Razers to six-figure builds out there at Glamis. And here's a Glamis beach store, kind of everyone's oasis out there in the dunes.
100,000 people or more can be found out here sometimes on the weekend. And Polaris's Camp Razer, a big feature of the 2015 Terracross Championships. And now Terracross has brought together some key manufacturers making innovative products in the space: Commercial Sewing, PRP, and Pro Armor, some of those companies.
Yeah, it used to be safety equipment and window nets were a hindrance, but the technology's come such a long way along with the Polaris Razor that no longer a hindrance, and you don't even know it's there.
Nets and seat belts, you need them if you're going to shred the desert. And that's what the women are about to do here. Women's class this year, it's been all about Sarah Price, X Games medalist, and so far undefeated on the year, Jim Beaver, 4-0.
Yeah, you know, but to get these last two wins out here at Glamis, rounds 5 and round 6, it's going to be tough. Shelby Anderson gunning for her friend would like nothing more than to dethrone Sarah.
Look back to Del Mar. That was early in the year. Heydays were 2 more victories for Sarah Price. You mentioned Shelby Anderson, but also Katie Vernola. She is not afraid to put a wheel in on you.
No, not at all. And Katie, you know, she started out this year a little bit timid, and she's got more aggressive as the year went on, and she's here to play.
Aggressive is the word you could use for Katie Vernola.
At the end of the day, it is a race, and I am gonna be aggressive. That's a part of racing, you know. If you're gonna be sitting back, hanging out in the back, then you probably shouldn't be out there. But it's a part of the game. Rubbing's racing. I try to keep it clean, but you never know when we're out there.
Another close competitor will be Shelby Anderson. Let's check in with Laurette Nickel.
As a rookie, she takes the championship in works in the production 900 class, and now out here for Terracross, Shelby Anderson. How far ahead on this track can you look without looking behind you and looking for Sarah Price?
Sarah's always been a top competitor to me and all the girls out here, and I try not to look back. I try to just run my own race, stay clean, and have fun out here. This is an awesome series put on by Joe and Jeremy, and I'm really happy that they brought me out here for Glamis.
And tell me the plan for this main event.
I'm starting pole. I'm hoping to get the whole shot and just take away the win. But just a tough class. We have a bunch of girls in here that are awesome drivers, and so we'll see. If it happens, it happens. If not, still always having fun out here.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
You might recognize the last name there, Anderson. RJ Anderson's cousin is the Walker Evans racer, Shelby Anderson, as we look at our front row. And there is Sarah Price, undefeated out of Canyon Lake, California. Field of 4 here in the women's final. Look at our Optimus start list for the women's final. Price, Vernola, Anderson, and Burrier. About to tackle this course here in Glamis.
And look at Shelby. Looks like she got the whole shot. Wow, man. Sarah Price already making time, though.
Anderson wide. Along with Vernola. Up the inside comes Price. That looked like the hot line. What happens here? We saw the LCQ, and oh my goodness, lap number 1 again.
Oh my goodness, Lucretia, end over end. The Desert Racer coming in a little hot.
Red flags already waving on the track.
Gonna get to do this all again. Re-rack them, restack them, restart this main event.
So the women will get one more shot at that start. That was interesting because you had almost 3 different lines being taken. Vernola was practically off the course as we get a look at Burrier upside down and sideways.
Yeah, it looks like a broken trailing arm there, possibly. She will probably be out.
These are incredibly durable machines, but if you're going to flip them over like that, all bets are off.
For sure, but that start, man, 3 wide, a little wild.
Lucretia, thanks for the entertainment. That was pretty good. So 3 racers back after the red flag. Here we go. Vernola, Anderson, and Price. As we go pro onboard with Shelby Anderson for the restart. Right into the middle here in the Prox Proving Grounds.
And Sarah Price starting out in the back row, but already cutting to the inside of Shelby. Price making her presence known early.
Price, same move she pulled on the first start. Anderson on the outside, not giving up much space, but she does not have the line.
I got to tell you, Sarah Price out front, it's dangerous for everyone. She likes to check out on the field.
Price in that Optimus starter's IMG Razer 1000. Performance of these machines spectacular, and really this track a good feature for it. Look at them blowing the berms out.
Trying to find all the traction they can out here in this sand in Glamis, and I think line choice is going to play a key part in who wins this main event.
A couple of times we've seen Sarah Price up on 2 wheels rolling it. That's the Mystic Mangler right there.
Look at how steep these sand hills are. I mean, it takes some throttle control to get over those without rolling it.
How about goggle maintenance in here and sucking the sand as a driver? This has got to be challenging.
Yeah, and as you come through that Fox Proving Grounds, dust being thrown up into Shelby Anderson's face, and ripping tear-offs, and sometimes you get all that dust in the car and you can't even breathe.
Kevin Barnett, Jim Beaver bringing you Terracross Championships, Race 5 of the 2015 Terracross Series. On board once again with Shelby Anderson. She sits in second, and she is second in the point standings. Looking to try and catch Sarah Price, who is perfect on the year.
Sarah out to that early lead. She gets a little bit dangerous out there out front, but Shelby making a race of it. She's all over the rear bumper of Sarah Price.
Price has had some easy runs in previous races. This is not one of them. Check out Anderson.
And Shelby Anderson coming into this year wasn't even planning on running the full championship. Showed up at Del Mar. It was going to be a one-off. She had some success there, found the podium, and here we go. And she's made a heck of a run at the championship behind Sarah Price in 2015.
Shelby Anderson's been behind Sarah Price in 3 races. She has finished in 2nd place. But Sarah Price, the X Games medalist and WMX legend, has been up front all year long.
It'd be amazing to finish out the whole season with all wins, especially with my family and friends here supporting me and seeing it for themselves. And the guys from Terracross came up to me, he goes, no pressure, but it's never been done and we think you might be able to do this. And so I'm like, oh gosh, let's do everything we can to make it happen. 6th time, let's do it.
Welcome back to the 2015 Camp Razer Terracross Championships. White flag waving for the women's final here in race number 5 of the 2015 Terracross Championship. Kevin Barnett alongside Jim Beaver from Glamis, where we've watched a heck of a race up front in the women's final here. Shelby Anderson has been pressuring Sarah Price all race long.
And look at Shelby. She's just, she's picking up a little bit of speed and pushing the limits of this Polaris Razer and giving it all it's got, trying to catch Sarah Price.
Last lap, last time through the Fox Proving Grounds, making a left into the Walker Evans whoops. We've seen some action here early on. Will we see it late? Give it the gas. Oh, Anderson plays it safe, trying to be smooth.
Look at her take a little bit different line into that corner than Sarah Price, just trying everything to make up that second half she's down.
Price looking good. Heading into the right-hand finish upcoming. And that'll be number 5. Sarah Price wins again in 2015.
And you got to give credit to Shelby Anderson. All over the back of Sarah Price, putting the pressure on it wasn't easy.
Price with the win. Let's give a little race recap. It was action on lap 1, as we've seen a couple of times already.
Oh yeah, Lucretia coming in hot and just finding the front bumper, not what you want to do in Terracross.
Off the red flag restart, it was Price up the inside. She would lead throughout and take the checkers for the 5th time this year. Trailing in second was Shelby Anderson. Once again, that is the 4th time in 5 races that Anderson has gone second. They're turning it into a 2-woman race. Let's check in with both of them with our Polaris winners interview.
Well, she was a rookie coming into this season, and Shelby, you have done so much work. You must be so proud of where you are at this season.
I'm very proud, and I have the best people behind me. I have CST, Walker Evans Racing, Buzz Tire and Wheel, Anderson's New Power, just helping me get out here every race. And racing with people like Sarah just makes it so much more fun. Just nice, clean racing, and also racing with girls and racing with one of my best friends is one of the best things here.
Well, racing with one of your best friends right next to you, she has gone 5 for 5. Sarah, we're looking forward to round 6. How do you make it a perfect season?
I don't know, man. Just staying smooth is going to be my goal, and it's been seriously luck keeping the car together because that's the toughest part. And you know, I can't thank Optimus and Terracross enough. IMG Motorsports, they built an amazing machine, and I'm excited to go out here again with Shelby for round 6, and I'm just excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shelby Anderson not leaving Sarah Price a lot of room for error even the last race of the year.
No, Shelby has been right on her bumper all season long, and she's going to make Sarah Price earn that perfect season.
The men's final, getting ready on course now, ready to tackle what Glamis has to offer. A star-studded field. Jason Luberg still looking for that elusive first win. He is our defending champion and points leader. RJ Anderson, he's looking for his 3rd victory. And Cody Raiders, coming off his best finish of the season in 4th, one of the good young off-road talents in the United States.
Been racing short course since I was 13. Got a couple titles doing works racing, super light at the Lucas Oil Regionals, and then I just got my 4th title in 3 years at the Lucas Oil Regionals in the Polaris XP1000 and XP900. I've been in Terracross this is my 1st year actually, and it's definitely a different experience and it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun and currently 4th in points, so been doing pretty well. Yeah, this year I'm definitely out to beat Luberg. I think it'd be cool to get to beat him in a race, and if not in points, but he's a little farther ahead of me than in points right now, but I'm going out there for this one to go out and beat him.
Raiders looking to move up, but he'll have to move somebody out of those podium spots. Men's final up next.
Good luck.
Welcome back to the 2015 Camp Razer Terracross Championships. One of the highlights of the weekend has to be Polaris's Camp Razer.
So this is our 4th year doing Camp Razers here in Glamis. This is where it all started.
Razer is certainly a product with great performance, great features, some of the best ride and handling in the world, but the Razer brand is about the people and the community and their lifestyle and bringing it all together at events like this.
I hope that people look at Camp Razer as something that gives back to them. I hope that they see this as come out to see something new and unexpected, to come out and have a place where they and their family can go and open dune season and just have a badass time to get this whole season started. That's what I hope Camp Razer means to them.
No other manufacturer giving back the way Polaris Razer does to their rider community. Camp Razer, pretty amazing place.
And an amazing driver in RJ Anderson, he's with Lorette.
Well, he is only 4 points behind the leader, which is right next to him. RJ Anderson, how are you going to keep it all together on a track like this?
Yeah, I got Jason starting right next to me, so he's an awesome driver, and we're gonna have a good battle. This is gonna be a fun fight till the end for the championship. So first things first, got to keep the car together and make sure we finish, and then it's gonna be driving a smart race. This sand track is they've done an awesome job with the track, but it plays a little bit of a different character out there. So keep the car together, but we got to push. I mean, the only thing I can do is try to beat Jason if I'm gonna win this championship. So we're gonna give it all, and I think it's gonna be a fun battle.
Good luck.
Thank you.
A different RJ Anderson from the first race, talking about keeping it all together. Mickey Thomas, one of the other good young talents around here as we look at our front row. RJ Anderson having a last-minute conversation with Jason Luberg, who's up on the inside with the red plate.
Yeah, that number one of Jason Luberg, he'd like nothing more than to repeat, but a couple of guys right on his heels.
Mike Johnson, Cole Katsu, who we've seen up front a couple of times this season, he has been a factor. Cody Raiders, he just learned about out of Alpine, California. Let's get to our Optimus start grid for our men's final. Hubert Rowland, everyone's favorite redneck in there, a name people might recognize. Then from the back, Ken Dana Creech, Doug Mittag, and Mitch Guthrie Jr. go to the front from the rear the way they did in the LCQ. Men's final, race 5, 2015 Terracross. Underway. Luberg up the inside.
Look at that dust, man. Anybody in the second row on back have to fight through that dust. Blind this first lap.
So Luberg gets a start. He's hoping for some action behind him. Everybody clean this first time through the Walker Evans whoops.
Looks like Raiders and RJ Anderson bumping tires there a little bit. The Raiders all over the back of Luberg.
There's another bump right there from the inside. Walker Evans racing RJ Anderson, giving it to Fox Shocks and Polaris factory rider Cody Raiders. Left-hand turn, Mangler upcoming after this bump here.
Got to tell you, man, these sand hills take a lot of finesse to find the right throttle to get up and over and not jump too far. And bunched in with a lot of drivers, it makes it pretty tough on these first couple of laps.
Mickey Thomas looking up the inside of Anderson. See how the two lines work out. Anderson on the throttle on the outside.
But never lifting RJ Anderson. You see that Razer just all over the place trying to make up time. He sees every position as added points. He's trying to make up time on Luberg.
Shutting the door is Anderson. You might know him from his internet videos. Puts out some sensational videos. 4 million on the last, already 1 million hits, less than a month into his new XP1K3.
It's pretty amazing what he does in that XP1K video series. Really the capabilities of the Polaris Razer.
Here's Luberg looking comfortable, trying to stretch out just a bit. Coming around to that Mangler once again.
Yeah, and you've got the two guys in the hunt in third and fourth, Mickey Thomas, RJ Anderson, trying to make up time and catch up with that championship battle.
GoPro on board with RJ Anderson. He's on the podium, but he wants to be on the top step. Wheel-to-wheel action is what you've gotten used to with the 2015 Terracross Championship. You're getting more of it here in race 5 as we are on lap 3. Jason Luberg, who is the points leader, holding that red plate, still looking for his first win. Kevin Barnett, Jim Beaver from Glamis.
And it's pretty amazing we're even talking about that. I mean, Jason Luberg, a champ, he's leading this year in the points. He's leading this race and still looking for his first victory.
On board with our leader, Luberg looking over his shoulder, checking just how close Raiders really is. He's right there, you can see him.
And it tells you his awareness as a driver, being able to look back over his shoulder and know where those other guys are. A lot of drivers, tunnel vision, looking straight. Luberg, he's looking all around, knows where every single person is out on this course.
So if you're Raiders right now, how much do you push? How much do you worry about the guy behind you, Anderson?
If I'm Cody Raiders, it's gas on, game on right now. I don't like sitting fourth in points. I want to make my way to the podium. It's give it all it's got.
R.J. Anderson, 2 wins on the year, another podium. Really, since race 1, he's shown consistency this year.
Yeah, you know, and RJ, you know, he's said it himself. He's usually a guy, it's either win or wad, but we've seen a little bit different RJ this year, and he's been a little bit more consistent, and I think that's why he's in this championship hunt with Luberg.
Wow, look at him throw it over. Absolutely pushing to the limit here with these factory Polaris Razer 1000s. Remember, these are stock machines, the same machine you can go out and buy from your local dealer. You can take it out into the desert and do exactly what these guys are doing.
And it's pretty amazing, these stock Polaris Razers, these guys are out here giving it their all, jumping 75-foot step downs in a stock Razor.
This reminds me of the old IROC Race of Champions, bringing together different disciplines into identically prepared machines. A totally unique race series is Terracross. And a great look there at the Fox Proving Grounds, ripping around. That left-hand turn is looking to the lead right now as Raiders. He is on the bumper.
Oh, bumping and banging. Hey, Jason, I'm right here, buddy.
Luberg, how about the nerves for Luberg? So many times he's been in second place, never the winner. Last 2 races he's been in second.
You know, and it's got to be tough for him. It's how hard do we push? I've got a championship to worry about, but then again, he wants to get that first win. It's, you know, he's threading the needle. It's how hard do I push this Razor, but still stay up front.
Oh, up inside to the Mangler. Here we go. Raiders inside Luberg.
All over each other. Wow, man, talk about some great racing and clean racing.
Raiders with the pass. We have a new leader. How will Luberg respond? Anderson is closed up now, too, with that battle up front. It has given Anderson new life in third. He's within reach of Luberg.
You know, and right now, RJ's got to be thinking, I'm sitting second at points. I have to get around Luberg. He's not worried about Cody Raiders so much as he is Luberg. He needs to make this pass to factor into the points championship.
On board, R.J. Anderson sitting in third place. He's been going big off those jumps there. You get a look at it right up on top of Luberg's bumper. He's looking at that number 1 and sucking some roost.
Look at this in-car over that huge step down, just airing it out. Oh, man, lots of throttle control with these Razors, too, when you get airborne like that. A lot of guys having to adjust your throttle brake to adjust the attitude of the car in the air.
Raiders a couple of lengths out. Now it's up the inside. Walker Evans Racing. Anderson can have a look. Raiders, he's powering it through, knowing Luberg is right behind. That inside line seems to be the preferred line in the Fox Proving Grounds.
Yeah, Cody Raiders always taking that inside line since he's got the lead, trying to protect. He's going to make those other guys make the mistakes on those outside lines. He wants the inside, and you know, he's sitting in the catbird seat right now up front.
Walker Evans whoops complete. Jason Luberg on board. GoPro in second. And get a look at the sand coming into these vehicles.
Look at Luberg, it's just effortless, you know, he's such a good driver. You know, he's sitting here, he's got to make a pass, but you don't see him getting rushed. I mean, very confident in his driving, and you just look, I mean, no effort whatsoever on his part.
We saw Dana Creech come with a win in the LCQ to get into this main event. Jason Luberg is his partner in building these Terracross courses.
Luberg right there over the Mystic Mangler in that Keystone Lone Star car, still trying to get that position back from Cody Raiders.
Out of the Fox Proving Grounds into the Walker Evans whoops. Just a few laps remain for Luberg to make a move. Looks like Raiders stepped out the lead just a little bit on that last lap.
And look at these corners. Look at the depth. I mean, just swallowing those tires whole. I mean, these are 30-inch tires, and they're just getting swallowed by these ruts. I mean, it tells you how tough it is to keep these on all fours.
A unique race course here in Glamis. Something we have not seen this season. Deep, deep sand that's getting rutted out throughout our 12-lap main.
I think these guys right now, they're you know, on the home stretch here with a few laps left, and they're looking for every bit of traction. They're switching up their line, trying to find a spot that maybe just isn't quite as chewed up as the others.
Anderson with pressure on Luberg. Mitch Guthrie Jr. looks like he's done for the day.
Yeah, Mitch Guthrie, tough break for him, but sitting there on the Mystic Mangler there, but R.J. Anderson still in the hunt.
A great look at how deep those ruts are coming around the left. Now bouncing through the Walker Evans whoop section. So much action we've seen in here. Anderson pushing it on lap 9.
Oh, you can tell he's pushing it, man. Almost looked like he went over there, was going to, just trying to find every little spot he can to make up time on Luberg and Raiders.
Raiders looking forward. We haven't seen him look back. Does he know how much of a lead he maintains over Luberg? Luberg falling back just a bit. Mystic Mangler coming up momentarily, and Raiders
slowing, it looks like. Is Raiders, he's got to have an issue.
Raiders is done.
Whoa!
Out of gear?
No,
he's going.
He saw the yellow flag. I think he thought it may have been a red. He's back going, but it was enough that Luberg soaked up the gap.
So a mistake late by Raiders. Will he pay the price? Here comes Luberg on the outside. Chose a different line.
Man, 2 laps to go. Luberg found that couple of seconds he needed. Look at him. Uh-oh. Cody Raiders, he is dead in the water, it looks like. But Luberg, did we see his first victory?
So maybe it was a problem that took Raiders out in the latter part of this race. The beneficiary, Jason Luberg, points leader, defending champion, and still looking for his first win. This was the pass Cody Raiders put on him, and he held on until right there. Jason Luberg, Keystone, Lone Star, and Luberg in the front.
Mystic Terracross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Mystic Lubricants, specially formulated for lubrication domination. And by Polaris Razer.
Positively gorgeous afternoon in Glamis. The weather is good. Will things be good for Jason Luberg here in elapsed time? He is back in the lead, still looking for his first Terracross victory.
Looks like he's coming up on some lap traffic. That's everybody's favorite redneck, Hubert Rowland. Let's see if Hubert gives way or tries to make it racy with Luberg.
The old blue flag. If you get the blue flag, there's a race and you're not in it. Pull over, Hubert.
Luberg with a big lead over second place Raiders right now. Hill sitting there in third. Luberg just trying to be conservative right now, get this thing to the finish.
So if you're Luberg, you don't have a win. You've been in second so many times. What's his heart rate like right now, Jim?
I got to tell you, he's wishing it was white flag lap right now. He's like, let's just end this thing. I want it to be over. But he's got about a lap and a half left. He's got to get this Polaris Razer to the finish line here at Glamis.
Take the half off. Here comes the last lap. There is the white flag. RJ Anderson, he's fallen back slightly as we go on board with him. Had an issue the last couple of laps here. He was solidly in third, putting pressure on the leaders throughout much of this race.
Yeah, RJ has definitely been on point today, trying to conserve as many points as he can. But whoa, that's Dana Creech flying by RJ Anderson for third place.
Creech from the back, he now puts a pass on Anderson, and that was fast. Blew up the inside. Here's the Mystic Mangler. Dana Creech, where did he come from?
Man, all the way in the back. It's like unleashing a caged lion, you know, having Dana Creech in the back, firing his way all the way to the front. RJ Anderson, he's seeing those points slip away every time somebody gets by him. It's got to be frustrating.
Hucking it there. Here comes Luberg, right-hand turn, checkered flag upcoming. And he's going to jump it down 75 feet to the win. Jason Luberg's first career victory.
It's got to feel good for Luberg. Came in back against the wall, came out swinging. First Terracross victory, and he's leading the points championship going into the final round.
Rest of the field wheel to wheel, and that's what you get here in Terracross. Awesome racing action from the start. It was Anderson trying to make a move, but Luberg, that inside line has been good.
Yeah, you know, those Fox Proving Grounds, multiple lines, and the inside looks like the hot ticket here today.
Raiders made a good pass mid-race, held on for a long time over Luberg, but then he would pop it out of gear, get restarted, and Raiders would come home in second, but this gave Luberg a comfortable cushion.
Yeah, he's in a good position to retain that red plate going into the final round.
Look at our general insurance final results. Luberg, Raiders, Creech, followed by Hill, and then RJ Anderson, who ran much of this race in third, falls all the way to fifth. The big story, Jason Luberg, on the podium all year long, collects his first career victory in Terracross. Here is our Polaris winners interview.
Well, Jason, you knew it was going to be a battle out here. Did you expect the biggest fight to come from Cody?
No, I didn't. He's always got great speed. He just came right around me. He was picking real good lines, so I kind of fell in and started stealing some of his good lines, and then they developed into other ones. So this track is pretty cool today. It was pretty cool.
And you finally get the win that you have been searching so hard for, still in the lead. What do you hope this win says about you as a driver?
I'm glad I finally got a win so everybody can quit asking me about it. It feels good to win, but it's hard to finish and win, and just keep it together.
And how are you going to do it for round 6?
Hopefully just do the same thing. Once I got a little bit of comfort, I started slowing down, so hopefully I can run out and get going. I won't be in the front row for the second start, so we'll see what happens.
Best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
Luberg shakes off the doubters, gets his first win, and extends his points lead over RJ Anderson. 13 now, leading into race 6, Jim.
Yeah, Jason Luberg, great first career victory in Terracross, but the championship picture, RJ Anderson, Mickey Thomas still mathematically eligible to win that championship in the 6th and final round.
6th and final round is all that's left in the 2015 Terracross Championship. The action in round 5 was tremendous. Come on back for round 6. For my partners, Jim Beaver and Laurette Nickel, I'm Kevin Barnett. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.